Pac Bell, track 6 from 2000's Broke, has such a vibe. And looking at the writing credits, it's the only song from Head Planet Earth's sophomore album where every single member is credited. And upon rewatching the Broke 20-year anniversary documentary, I actually had completely forgotten about the demo version that appears in this and how different it feels to what would later end up as the final version on the album. The demo has a real 90s hip-hop atmosphere about it. It's very chill in comparison, very smooth.
Yeah.
I would love to hear about the progress of Pac Bell from its demo state to what we end up hearing on the album Broke.
Yeah. I think I remember telling you that some songs just came together really fast, like The Meadow, Bartender. Kind of the demos are pretty close to what we did on the record, just better. And some songs we didn't finish them all the way, and we decided, when we get in the studio, we're going to do something to them. So Pac Bell's one of those interesting songs that took a bigger life when we got into the studio. But it's funny that you ask about that song, because I was going through a big Talkbox phase when we were touring the first record, and I just didn't have it in time for the first record. We wrote a bunch of songs with the Talkbox. We even played them live. Sometimes we would open the show with this one song that we had. I was for sure that was going to go on the Broke record. And then when we were writing songs, I wrote this very specific Talkbox song for Broke. I spent a lot of time on it. It was like this really gangster, low moog bass with this great beat, cool lyrics about the underground and the sound and all the shit. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever done. Jared's going to love it. And then I even left spaces for him to sing on it. So when I gave him the CD with the song, I was like, dude, this one is banging. This is going to be the one.
Remember that, baby? So high, motherfucking high. She used to call me all the time. But now she don't. No way, no more. She used to call me all the time. What happened, baby? We go out all the time. Remember that, baby? But that's over and it's done and it's all right.
I just had this really killer lowrider breakbeat that Doug gave me, and I played a bass line on my guitar, and then I just went Talkbox crazy. I just wrote a thing about breaking up with my girlfriend, and it wasn't meant to be a Head PE song at all. But I stuck it on the demo, and I gave it to Jared. I'm like, hey, check it out. And I think, I don't know how much time went by, a couple days, or who knows how, I don't remember. But he came to me, and he's like, dude, I fucking love your song. I want to do it. Let's work on your song. And I was like, yeah. It's perfect, right? It's already got the spaces for you. And he's like, no, not that one. He's like, I like that other one that you did. And I go, what? Yeah, the one she used to call me all the time and shit. I'm like, oh, no, that's not the song. He's like, yeah, dude, I fucking love that one. I want to work on it. So I didn't understand at first because the whole thing is Talkbox. It wasn't even a thought that it would be a Head PE song. It was just something that I made. So I'm like, how do you want to do it? He was like, I'm going to pick some of the lines that you said that I really love, and then we should just make a new demo and let me have a crack at it. And I was like, okay, cool. So then we did. We re-recorded it. I always worked on 8-track tape machines, and I would just give him CDs. This is before we got our hands on Pro Tools. He had like a Roland digital workstation or something, and he's pretty good at it. He doesn't seem techie, but he is. He could figure shit out. So we re-recorded the whole thing from scratch. And this time we had 2 beats, the same one that I'd used on the original. We had Mark play the bass line. And then I redid all the Talkbox lines that he really likes, the ones that you kind of hear in the demo. And then he was able to cut and paste it in his own way. And then he did his vocals. And when I heard what he did to it, I was like, fuck, that's dope. That's so different. And so I think everybody really liked it. Yeah, that first version that I put in the movie is the second demo.
We used to drive all night. Yeah, remember that, baby? We get high all the time. So high. She used to call me all the time. Yeah, what happened? Now she don't. No way, no more. She used to call me all the time. What happened, baby? We go out all the time. Yeah, remember that, baby?
Jared's got like a mellow vibe. He kind of matched my Talkbox vibe, which is real stony and laid back and dreamy. And it's like a Snoop Dogg thing. He's real mellow in it. And then when the album version came, it took on another life. Still the same in a way, but took on a whole different thing because we had the whole band involved, and Machine involved, and it kind of is even better because he went more manic and aggressive, and then my part stayed dreamy and stony, right?
Yeah.
It feels like a subconscious refrain because we keep going back and forth. Like he's coming at you with this thing, and then I come at it and explain it. The talk box feels like a subconscious thought going back and forth with him, but I didn't know he was going to go that way. We did the whole song and I recorded all the talk box stuff, and then he surprised me with what he did.
It must still have been pretty intense and overwhelming the first time you heard Pac Bell like this,
Yeah.
with that intensity and darker tones.
Yeah, totally. At first I was like, what are you doing? You took it completely different, like a manic, depressive, crazy thing. I don't know if I even liked it the very first time. I was attached to the demo. That happens a lot to musicians. They call it demoitis. And I thought what he did on the demo was really cool. I was like, whoa, dude, you're talking about a breakup, but you're being real cool. Like, oh man, you know what happened? You know, that kind of thing. And now it's more like, I'm not sure how I feel about it. But then I really loved it because it took the song to another level. His performance of the vocals, because it's in that manic way, is really, you know, the vocals are amazing, right?
Oh, easily one of my favorite vocal performances on the album, man. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Yeah, and then also you get BC coming in halfway through with the live drums, and you're like, oh fuck, where are we going? This song's gonna go explode somewhere. And then you got Wes came in and did this awesome guitar shit, creepy stuff, and then we took it heavy, and Mark got down on the bass. It just took a whole other life and got better. It's one of those songs that did that.
So let's talk about Machine and his role working with you guys on Pac Bell, and what did he bring to the experience in terms of ideas and creativity?
When we first worked with them, it was for the Black Sabbath tribute record. Sharon and Ozzy put a record out, and they took all the bands from Ozfest and they gave them a Sabbath song to do. And they gave us Sabracadabra, which was weird because it's got like harmonica and piano or something. I don't know, it's just a different type of Sabbath song. It's not like a heavy one. So we had to reimagine it. We turned it into like this cool, funky thing, and then we took it super heavy, and we had Machine produce it. And that was the first time we worked with them. And I remember just going, holy shit, dude.
Cool.
He kind of tweaked to some things. The guitar, he was just really good with mixing too, and we all loved him. We're like, that's it. You're doing the record with us. I don't even know if the label wanted Machine to do the record, but we were adamant. I don't remember exactly, to be honest with you, but I know that we all were like, fuck yeah, dude, you're doing it. We had this rehearsal place in Huntington Beach. He came down for a pre-production meeting. We probably played a bunch of songs for him, and he had a CD with all the demos that we had made. And so we sat down and we talked about every single song, and he took notes and he asked what we wanted to do and what the plan was pretty much for every song. But that one, he's like, this is the song I want to talk about specifically because I really want to get into that song. And he's like, that's yours. What do you want to do with it? And I said, well, I like the lowrider beat with the booming kick drum and the whole thing. And he wanted to make a new beat. And I was like, no, I had to fight Machine a lot. Like in the studio on the Meadow, for instance, I definitely tell him, no, I'm not changing the chords, or no, I want the beat and all this stuff. And I'm glad I did. But for this song, I was like, fuck it, let's get crazy on it. I don't know what to do with that song. And he was like, I really like Massive Attack. It sounds like that was your influence. And I go, no, I love Massive Attack, but definitely wasn't my influence. I just made the thing and it turned out the way it turned out. He's like, well, maybe I could program some drums and we'll get BC in there and we could freak it out a bit. So he definitely did more on that song than the others. Like he programmed the beat, he got like some sounds in there, and I was really, really into it. He helped a lot for sure.
Awesome. The documentary also features a demo version of your hit single, Bartender, which in many ways also stands out as feeling quite different from the final album version. What did this song in particular go through in the studio?
What happened with Bartender was Wes had the verse and the chorus, guitar-wise, and he just demoed it on a breakbeat that Doug gave him. We always knew that it was going to be BC. So I think that song came together a little easier than most people think. I mean, it's not a simple song. If you really listen to that song, Bartender, the bass lines and the breakbeat and the verse, they're pretty awesome. They're no joke. And they've got like the jazzy guitars. But the main heavy parts is really just the band sounding like the band.
Just smash that, hitting that red bone. Up in the end zone, biting on the collarbone.
Machine was way more involved in Pac Bell and Jesus. He definitely was bringing his producer hat, you know what I mean, to the table.
It's nice to hear, man, because, yeah, obviously there was great camaraderie with Machine.
Oh, yeah, dude. I love Machine. Easy to talk to, easy to work with.
Yeah,
I've
nice,
made
man.
a lot of records, some by myself, some with other people. Machine, to me, he seemed just like us. Our age, he's really into the same kind of music, super nerdy pedals and effects and guitar. And I mean, sometimes you have to go, no, dude, I don't want to do that. But his skill happened to be recording. He was very particular about snares and guitar tones and cabinets. So it would get kind of tedious. Like, oh my God, how long are we going to try cabinets out before I can just play guitar? But he knew what he wanted. He's like, no, this song, I know what you guys are doing, so it's got to be this. Hey, try this or try that. Do this or do that. Or I like it when you do this. So it was fun. It was fun to work with him. I felt bad for him later to have to go through the blackout process a little harder based on like the little bit of infighting that was happening. But he would do all the work and take it from zero all the way to being done. And then the label would pay all this money to have some other person mix it. And he didn't like that. He wanted to mix the records. Our label had big hopes for Broke. So they were like, no, we're going to pay all this money for this hotshot dude to mix it, which turned out fine, turned out great. But I think he was wishing that he could just finish it all the way. And I'm sure he could have. I'd make a record with him right now. He's awesome.
And between the two experiences working with Machine, was he much of a driving force to get through blackout, you know, steering the ship, or been some sort of glue keeping it all together?
I don't think so. I think that we kept it together. We were okay. It wasn't all doom and gloom. It seemed like the magic was there when we did Broke. I'll just put it that way. We're so excited. You know, when the vibe's there, you're like, holy shit, we're riding a wave right now. This is badass. That's how Broke was the whole time making it. But with the next record, it was kind of like, a little bit more work. But he knew shit was fucked up, and he still came, and I apologized to him a couple times, like, dude, I'm sorry. You have to go through this. More testament to the fact the band was pretty professional at that point. We're not going to waste all this money. We're going to go to work. But he definitely just made it easier. We're lucky to have him, dude. I'll just say that. I felt like we were lucky to have him, and I really liked him. And if it wasn't for him, I mean, that's obvious. Some of those songs wouldn't have turned out the way they did because he had an input in it, you know? We did the first record on tape, dude. A couple of those songs, we played them live. Fucking live, dude. Even the vocals. The Broke, we were like masterminding that record, and he just had a certain process that was way elevated, even for the time. I was like, wow, you're futuristic, dude. Yeah, he was cool because he was one of us, man. I think that what helped is that he really liked us, excited about what we were doing at the time. He was into it as much as we were. Man, I'll probably go listen to that song again now, because when BC kicks in the whole vibe changes. You're like, oh shit, and he goes off on the drums. We let him do whatever the fuck he wanted at the end. We're like, just go for it, dude. All those fills and all that great shit. Even the bass, Mark started to go nuts at the end too. Everyone kind of showed off in a way. Everyone got a piece. I didn't really intend it to even be a song for the band. It was just something I made that wouldn't be the song without all of that. Everyone putting something in on it. I like when things work out that way.